Okay, so what we have to do is to continue the operating system. So මේක තව කොච්චර දවසක් කියයිද දන්නේ නැහැ මේ දැන් එන විදිහට දැන් ටිකකට කලින් මැසේජ් එක ආවා 500ක් වුණා කියලා. So I think it's going to go for like week or two until we feel safe. So ඒ වෙනකන් අපි ක්ලාස් එක මේ විදිහටම කරගෙන යමු. මේ ටයිම් එක කට්ටියට ගැටලුවක් නැහැ කියලා මම හිතනවා. right අපේ සාමාන්‍ය ක්ලාස් ටයිම් එකනේ. මේ ටයිම් එකම අපි චුට්ටක් තියාගමු. එතකොට මේ පීරියඩ් එකෙන් පස්සෙත් අපි මේ ටයිම් එකටම හම්බෙන්න තියාගමු කොහොමද කියලා. සනාදී right අපරයක් ඉන්න තව එක්කෙනෙක් කනෙක්ට් වෙන ගමන් ඉන්නේ. හරි සනාදි දුව මිනිදිට පණිවිඩය ගියාද කොහොමද දුවට ලින්ක් එක හම්බුන නිසා මිනිදිටත් පුළුවන් නම් පොඩ්ඩක් ෆෝවර්ඩ් කරන්න sorry මට මීන් වෙලා තිබුණේ නෑ දුව ඔයාලා දෙන්න මේ group එකේ නැහැ කියලා මට පුතේ පුළුවන් නම් SMS එකක් දාන්න මම එතකොට මේ group එකේ link එක එවන්නම් ඒකටත් connect වෙන්න එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට පණිවිඩ ටික normal විදියට හම්බෙනවා Hari. Okay, let's start the session. මං කියාගෙන යන එක තේරුම් නැති වුණොත් හරි පැහැදිලි නැති වුණොත් හරි මට කතා කරන්න disturb කරලා කියන්න ආයෙත් කියලා දෙන්න කියලා. Right? So today we are going to learn about the final part of the operating system, and there is a calculation part as well. So we have to do the calculations with that particular theory part. So let's first discuss the theory side of the theory which is left off. Then we'll move into the calculations, right? Okay, just give me a second until I'm taking the notes. Right, so I'm sharing the screen, so I think all of you can see this. So as I remember, we discussed about the context switching as well as the scheduling part. These four terms: turnaround time, response time, throughput, waiting time, and the difference between non-preemptive and preemptive scheduling, right? So we are here to do the memory management. So memory management is something which is related to some calculations as well. So before we move into the the calculation part, let's see what the memory management is, right? So the memory management, as your note describes, it is a functionality of an operating system which handles or manages the primary memory and moves processors back and forth between main memory and the disk during execution. So remember, it is regarding the main memory and the hard disk, right? ඒ දෙන්න අතර processors එහා මෙහා කරවීම තමයි අපි memory management කියලා මෙතනදී කතා කරන්නේ. So you know, when the when you install something into your computer, it is there in your hard disk. So from when you give the command to execute a particular program, the things or the program which is installed into the hard disk will be loaded into the RAM or the main memory. So like how those programs are being loaded into the RAM and how the RAM is allocated for those kind of processors and what is happening when processors are needing the space which is more than the main memory. Such things are going to discuss in this under this topic, right? So it is about moving the processors back and forth in between main memory and the hard disk, right? So when to do the memory management, there is an extra component supporting to the operating system, which is called the memory management unit. In short form, we call MMU. We are going to discuss it detail when it comes to the next topic. So memory management keep the tracks of each and every location, memory location, regardless of either it is allocated to some process or whether it is free or not, right? Just a second, I'm receiving a WhatsApp. Yeah. Right, okay. Okay, and yeah, so as the third and fourth point describes the memory management, decide how much memory is going to allocate for process and how much time that the process is going to stay inside the RAM, and as well as it tracks the things what is happening between the what is happening with that particular process inside a main memory, right? So as the note says, it tracks whenever some memory gets freed or unallocated, and correspondingly, it updates the status, right? So as we talked in the 7-state diagram, so when your state is waiting, it is there inside the memory, the allocation is given, and when it is ready to run, the state will be changed and taking it out of the memory and send it to the CPU. But that is not a part of memory management, it is a part of process management. So when that particular process has done its work, so it is there is no need to keep that particular process inside the RAM. So you have to release it, and that particular releasing part is a part of the memory management. එතකොට memory එක allocate කරන එකයි, ඒ කියන්නේ වෙන් කරන එකයි RAM එකේ එයා වැඩේ කරලි වරුණාම එයාව RAM එකෙන් අයින් කරන එක, right? ඔකට අපි කියනවා allocation unallocation කියලා. So those two things are a part of memory management, right? So it's better you highlight the very last point with these 4 sub points, right? An operating system does the following activities for memory management. So it says keeps a track of memory management, that is what part of it are in use by whom, what part are not in use, right? Basically ida tiyenne koheda ida නැත්තේ කොතනද, main memory එකේ, right? So in multi-programming, the OS decides which process will get memory when and how much, right? ඒක මේ multi-programming කියන concept එකට අදාළව කතා කරන දෙයක්. Multi-programming වලදී we discussed there are many processors there to be run, and many processors are coming into the RAM, and operating system decides which process will get memory and when it is going to get that memory part, and how much of memory is going to be used, right? And allocates the memory when a process requests it to do so. That's a general thing. Deallocates the memory when a process is no longer need it or has been terminated, right? So it is an important point that you need to remember. When a process need the space in the RAM, operating system is allocating that space due to its memory management scenario, as well as when the process is done, it's no longer need to be there inside the RAM. So operating system will clean that, or like deallocate the space which has been allocated inside the RAM so far, right? එතකොට ඉඩ වෙන් කරන එකයි වෙන් කරපු ඉඩ process එක ඉවරුනාම එයාව අස් කරලා ඒ ඉඩ තව කෙනෙක් වෙනුවෙන් තබා ගන්න එකයි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් memory allocation වල සිද්ධ වෙන දෙයක්. right? Okay, so this is the one we called which is helping to the operating system to do the memory management. It is a hardware device, and it has a very specific task. So this is the place where we are going to talk about the calculations. So, and we get to know what is a virtual address, in other words, the logical address and the physical address, right? So you have to remember and you have to take this concept into your consideration. Just excuse me for a moment. Hello, okay. Oh, 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 oh. CD camera. ඕකක් මේ කියන්නේ access speed වල එන code එකයි capacity code එකයි අතර පොඩි වෙනසක් තියෙනවා නේද? ඔව්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඕකේ access speed පැත්තෙන් ගත්තොත් hard disk එකේ access speed වැඩි CD එකේ access speed අඩුයි. ප්‍රමාණයෙන් දානවා ගත්තොත් compact disk එකට වගේ hard disk එකකට ගන්නකොට ඒ hard disk එක පහළ තියෙනවා. ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ ඔතනදී තමයි access speed එකේ පිළිවෙලයි ඒක වෙනම කියන්න වෙනවා capacity පිළිවෙල වෙනම කියන්න. මොකද capacity එක එකේ දාලා ඉස්සර ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙනවා. ඔව්. ඔව්. ඒක පොදු වේදනා කරන එක හරියට බලන්න තේරුම් ගන්න තමයි නෑ CD එක තමයි සංයුක්ත දෙටේ කියලා අපි කතා කරන්නේ. කල්යන්නේ නැහැ කියලා කතාවක් නම් තියෙනවා. නමුත් ඉතින් කියන්න බෑ දැන් මේ වෙන තත්ත්වෙත් එක්ක නේද අපි. ඔව් දැන් 500ක් වුණා කියලා කිව්වනේ. ඉතින් දැන් 500ත් එක්ක අනේ වන්දනේ ළමයින්ට නම් එපා වෙයි හැබැයි. ඔව් ඒක තමයි ළමයි ඩවුන් යනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්. මොකක් හරි විදිහකට ඔක පවත්වන එක තමයි වටින්නේ. ඔව් මොකක් වෙනම තියලා හරි නැත්නම් ක්වොරන්ටයින් සෙන්ටර්ස් කරලා හරි ඔක පවත්වන එක තමයි වටින්නේ. විභාග මධ්‍යස්ථාන මොකක් හරි මේ විදිහට හරි අරගෙන එක්ක ළමයි ටිකේ සති දෙකේ ඒකෙම ඔව් තේරුමන්නේ එක්ක ළමයි ටික ඒ සති දෙකේ ඒ මධ්‍යස්ථානෙම තියාගෙන ඒක මේන්ටේන් කරලා ඒක පවත්වන්න මොකක් හරි ක්‍රමයක් හරි හදන්න වෙනවා ඉතින්. මේක දැන් කටේ නෙමෙයි. ඕ දවස් 4යි 5යි. ඕ ඔක්කොම ඉවරයි සෙන්ටර්ස් වලට දේවල් සකස් කරලා ඇත්තේ. බලමු මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. දැනට අයිඩියා නෑ දැනට අප්ඩේට් එකක් නෑ. දැනට අප්ඩේට් එකක් නෑ. මම ආවොත් දෙන්නම් අනිවාර්යෙන්. මම ආවොත් දෙන්නම්. right okay. All right. So sorry for the disturbance. දැන් විභාගේ ලියන්න ඉන්න කට්ටියට ටිකක් නෙවෙයි හොඳටම එපා වෙලා වගේ තත්ත්වයක ඉන්නේ. They don't know what will happen. Still we don't know what is going to be. We'll see. Right. So memory management unit is a physical thing, that means a hardware. It has a specific task which is called mapping the virtual address or the logical address into the physical address. Now මේක පටන් ගන්නකොට මම කියන්නම් virtual address කියන එකයි virtual memory කියන එකයි දේවල් දෙකක්. ඕගොල්ලෝ මෙතනදී virtual කියන වචනයට වඩා මේ address mapping වලදී it's better you remember it from the term called logical, right? Logical address and the physical address, right? So there are two types of addresses and there are two types of memories we are talking about. So logical address referring the logical memory, physical address is referring the physical memory. Now what is this logical and physical memory? මේ දෙන්න හරියට අඳුන ගන්න ඕන. Now physical memory, there is no any argument, it's going to be the RAM එක තමයි physical memory එක කියන්නේ. දැන් memory management වල අපි කතා කරා මේක සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ, it is in between the hard disk and the random access memory or the main memory. The hard disk එකයි memory එකයි අතර සිද්ධ වෙන ක්‍රියාවලියක් තමයි මේ වෙන්නේ. So your program is inside the hard disk, and when you are executing a program, processors will be taken into the RAM, right? Okay, I'll show it to you from the diagram, right? Just a second. Right, so if I draw it in here, right, so this logical address, now your hard disk, let's say your hard disk is this is your hard disk, right, and this is your RAM. Right, so what will happen is when we double click on a program, the program is in here, right in here, right? So this is your program. So once you double click it, your processes regarding the program will be created, right? So we can take these little dots as the processes, right? So we can say this is P1, this is P2, this is P3, and this is P4. All right, okay, Masha, hold on. I'll share it again. Okay, yeah, let me take the whiteboard. මම කොලේම තියාගෙන කරන නිසා problem එකේ. All right. Now, can everyone see the whiteboard? පුළුවන් හැමෝටම පේනවද whiteboard එක පොඩ්ඩක් confirm කරන්න? Hi. How about others? Yeah, Sanadi, do you got a problem, or are you just saying that you can see it? Right, okay. तो මට chat එකේ reply එකක් දාන්න පේන්නේ නැත්නම් yes. Sanadi clear the do matter confirm කරන්න පේනවද නැද්ද කියලා. Right, okay. Good, good, good. හරි කට්ටියටම පේනවා ඇති කියලා එහෙනම් හිතනවා. Right, if you got any problem just tell me. හරි, right. ඔයගලන්ගේ සිද්ධ වෙන දේ තමයි you got your hard disk, right? Hard disk එක තියෙනවා මේ විදිහට. Right, so this is the hard disk and let's say this is the RAM. Okay, Masha, in මම ආයෙසරයක් share කරන්නද දුව. Sharing stop කරලා. There you go again. හරි. දැන් බලන්න මාෂා ඕකේද කියලා? Oh. දුව පොඩ්ඩක් disconnect වෙලා ආයි connect වෙන්න මාෂා. How about the situation, Masha, now? All right, great. Hi. So now think that you are having a program in here, right? So this is your program, right? So this is the program. Now, when you execute this, it will create the processors, right? So let's say these are the processors regarding this program. Now, what operating system should do, operating system should take these processors into the RAM. Right, so process 1 will be taken here, process 2 will be taken here, and process 3 will be taken here, right? So until these processors are moved into the RAM, so this is called the physical memory as well. Physical memory, right? So until these processors move into the physical memory, they are in the logical memory. So logical memory is not a hardware component, it is a virtual thing, right? So මෙතනට එනකම් hard disk එකේ ඉඳලා process ටික until it's taken into the RAM, we consider those are in the logical memory. So for each and every process, it is very important, for each and every process there is a logical memory regarding that, right? So then there are 3 processors, so there will be 3 logical memories, and those logical memory will be having the addresses, logical memory එකේ තියෙන data වලට වෙන වෙනම addresses තියෙනවා. So those addresses will be mapped into the addresses of the physical memory, right? So then it will be given the chance to enter the RAM, right? So memory management unit is the one who helping to do this, right? Memory management unit එක තමයි logical address එක physical address එකේ කොතනටද match වෙන්නේ කියන එක තීරණය කරන්න. Now it's like this, if you take this one particular process, මේක process එකක් ගත්තොත් මේ process එකේ logical memory එක මෙන්න මේ විදිහට හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? අපි කියනවා logical memory එකේ තියෙන්නේ pages කියලා. So this is the page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4, this is page 5. So what MMU does is, now memory management unit will tell how this one particular page is going to be inside the RAM. RAM එකේ කොතනද කොහොමද ඉන්නේ කියන එක තමයි මෙයා තීරණය කරන්නේ. Right? දැන් මේ pages වලට they have their own tags. මේ විදිහට tags එල්ලලා තියෙනවා. අතරම එල්ලලා තියෙනවා නෙවෙයි. ඒගොල්ලෝ refer වෙන්නේ ඒ tag එකකින්. මේ tag එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ logical address එක කියලා. Right? So these are called logical addresses. This is full of ones and zeros. Right? So we call these things the logical addresses. Right? So these are the logical addresses. So memory management unit will tell how this particular logical address will be mapped into a physical address inside the RAM. The reason is RAM is also being divided into the sizes of this pages. Page එකේම size එකට ගැලපෙන විදිහේ frames වලට මේගොල්ලෝ බෙදලා තියෙනවා. Right? So this is called a frame, and it is having a label as well. මේවටත් labels තියෙනවා. Means this are called physical address. Right? So memory management will be considering this kind of ජාතිය address එකක් මෙයා consider කරලා ඒකට අදාළ physical address එක මොකක්ද කියලා එයා match කරනවා. Right? So MMU will map the logical address into physical address. Right? So ඕක තමයි සරලව සිද්ධ වෙන දේ. Right? So if I recap this, we are having a hard disk and our program is stored inside the hard disk. So once we execute it, it will create the processors, and process will be having pages in its logical memory. So in that logical memory, there will be logical addresses for each and every page. Right? From this place, so like from the hard disk until it's entered to the RAM, the process will be inside the logical memory. මේ කොටසට අපි කියන්නේ logical memory එක කියලා. Right? So මෙයාව චුට්ටක් indicate කරන්න. මේ ටිකට අපි කියන්නේ logical memory එක කියලා. Right? So inside the logical memory, they are given the addresses to refer what's the page is. If the computer එක වැඩ කරන්නේ, so it should have the reference. කොතනද data තියෙන්නේ? ඒ data එක කොහොමද එයා capture කරගන්නේ නැත්නම් එයා identify කරගන්නේ. So it is identified by the logical address. So for the all the pages inside the logical memory is given with the address, which is called the logical address. So using this logical address, MMU will develop an algorithm to match it to the physical address. So MMU knows what are the physical addresses inside the RAM. So by getting this logical address and by using some mathematical calculation, it will match what is the corresponding logical address, physical address for this logical address. මේ logical address එකට අදාළ physical address එක මොකක්ද කියලා MMU එක calculate කරනවා. Which we call MMU is performing the mapping. Then after, it will be taken into the specific frame. අපිට physical memory එකේදී හම්බෙන්නේ frames. Logical memory එකේදී හම්බෙන්නේ pages. Right? So this is how the things are work. Now, I think it's better you have this diagram, right? පොඩි කොලයක් අරගෙන චුට්ටක් copy කරගත්තට කමක් නැහැ පුතේ මේක. Right? Because it will be a good diagram for you to understand the things. Right? හරි විනාඩියක් කරන් copy කරගන්න. ඉවරුණාම මට indicate කරන්න. මම මේකෙත් address එකක් ලියනවා. මේ addresses වල දිග වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? දැන් මම physical address එකක් ලියලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකේව 4යි දිග. ඒකේ bits 5ක් තියෙනවා. මෙයා ගාව තියෙන්නේ bits 4. Numbers 4යි තියෙන්නේ. So 1, 1 or 0 we address it as a bit. right. හැමෝම ඇඳගෙන ඉවරද? තව වෙලා ඕනේද? Right. How about the others? Right. හරි අනිත් කට්ටිය පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලා ඉඳන් අර ගන්න. Hari, Dilsa, Hari. Masha, how about you? Right, great. Okay, so let's proceed. So it is what's happening with the help of the memory management unit. Right, so memory management unit will have the details or have the logical address from the logical memory, and will calculate what will be the physical address for that specific page inside the physical memories frame. Right, මේ page එක මොන frame එකටද යන්නේ කියලා තීරණය කරනවා. Right, okay, so there is an example at the bottom of this page number 26, but it's not a good example. So if you don't get that, so just get rid of it. කමක් නැහැ. මොකද අපි මම දැන් ඔය වලට example එකක් විදියට ඔය විස්තර කරපු දේත් එක මතක තියාගත්තා නම් ඇති. මට මේක note එක දෙන්න කලින් අස් කරන්න ඔළුවට ආවේ නැහැ, right? If you don't get that, just omit it, right? Take a couple of them මට කමක් නැහැ, right? So this particular thing. Right, so yeah, so the next part is talking about the physical memory, which we know already. So physical memory means RAM, right? So RAM එකේ අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ frames, right? Logical memory, we got the pages. In the physical memory, we are finding the frames, right? So so there is nothing much to tell about the physical memory. It's the it's a volatile memory where we are given the electricity. It will keep the things in mind. When the electricity is disconnected, it's going to erase the content. All right, and yeah, so that is the major hardware component which we have fixed into the motherboard of our system unit. So the virtual memory, in other words, is a storage or a allocated part of the hard disk, right? So that is why when some programs are installed into your computer, it says this particular program needs this much of capacity to install, and this much of free disk space should be there when it is being run, right? program එක run වෙනකොට මෙච්චර hard disk එකේ ඉඩ තියෙන්න ඕනේ free space එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා කියනවා. right දැන් install කරන්න වෙනම space එකක් ඉල්ලනවා run වෙනකොට මෙච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක් free තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා කියනවා. So that particular thing, that particular detail is regarding the virtual memory requirement, right? So the most basic reason why we use a virtual memory is because our RAM can be smaller than the program. Program එකට වඩා RAM එක small වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So on those cases, one of the techniques that operating system use is using the virtual memory. It keeps the unessential parts of that process for that particular moment, and the essential part will be kept inside the RAM. RAM එකේ ඕනම කොටස තියලා ඒ මොහොතට අනවශ්‍ය ටික hard disk එකේ තියනවා. So later, if the things inside the hard disk, when it needs the things inside the hard disk, then those will be taken into the RAM by sending something else to the virtual memory. So that's how the virtual memory handles the program which are bigger than the main memory, right? So as an example, if you have 2 GB RAM in your place, if you need to run a 4 GB program which has the capacity of 4 GB, 4 gigabytes, so 2 GB is not sufficient clearly, right? So what operating system does is, so out of that 2 GB, or like the out of the content, the most wanted or most needed components will be placed inside the RAM. Other components will be put inside the hard disk, right? So now when we compare the RAM and the hard disk, RAM is the fastest one. Hard disk is slower than the RAM. So with the very same meaning, virtual memory is slower than the physical memory, right? Because physical memory means the actual RAM. Virtual memory means a part of the hard disk, right? So the virtual memory works according to the speed of the hard disk, right? And RAM works individually. So RAM is speed and virtual memory is comparatively slow, right? And again, when it comes to the application program කියලා කියන්නේ අපි පාවිච්චි කරන programs, right? The things we use to ace up our day-to-day scenario, right? So application programs is not seen in which under which memory slot. Yeah. So like in the RAM, they won't see the physical RAM slot, or not the slot, physical RAM frame, or the physical frame where the application is actually going to run. Right? Again, අපි process එක double click කරලා run කරාම process එක run වෙන පටන් අරගෙන RAM එකේ හරියටම කොතනද ඉන්නේ කියන එක application program will not see. Application program will see what is the place of the logical memory for that particular process, right? So application programs will always use to connect with the like the logical address space or the logical memory, but the physical memory is the one who is actually holding the data, right? So virtual memory is, as the third point says, virtual memory is slower than the physical memory, so it can decrease the performance of application. Yeah, so when the application is using with the virtual memory, it should run according to the what you call the hard disk, right? So if it is in the main memory or the RAM, it's going to run according to that particular device's speed, right? So when we are using the virtual memory, it will slow down the application. Definitely it should slow down the application because the hard disk is something slower than the random access memory, right? But the most beneficial thing inside the virtual memory is the capacity that you can use, because you can use like as not as much as it can, as much as the what the hard disk permits it to do, right? Hard disk එක ඉඩ ගන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ කොච්චරද එතනට වෙනකම්ම පුළුවන් memory එක expand කරගන්න, virtual memory එක expand කරගන්න, right? And yeah, so these things will be talking about the virtual memory and the physical memory, right? So you have to go through and just read it through, that's all, right? And this particular place is important. The very last point, virtual memory serves two purposes, and actually the one before the last. Key hardware component is the memory management unit, MMU, address translation, and ensure virtual server hold on, ensure virtual address space protection, right? And the virtual memory serves two purposes, right? First is it allows us to extend the use of physical memory by using the disk, and it allows us to have memory protection because each virtual address is translated to physical address. So the application programs are not seen or they have got no chance to see what is the physical address of this particular process. It's always referred to the what you call the logical address, right? So ඔතන ඔයගොල්ලෝ කෙටියෙන්ම මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ hard disk is there. It is having the programs. Once we double click it, those will be get executed. Once it is being executed, it is put into the logical address and carried to the RAM, and will be mapped that logical address into a physical address and give the space in the memory management process, right? Okay, people, did you got some idea about it? Because this is a little bit complex when you try to compare it. When you are having the calculations, you will get much more idea regarding this. Just confirm whether you had this or not. Do I need you to explain it again? Right, okay, thank you, Nirmana. How about the others? Right, okay. All right, all right. So moving forward. So we are talking about the virtual memory goals. Once we talk about it, let's move to the gates part, not doing the calculation part in here. So we'll clear up with the things in the gates. We'll keep the rest to the next week. Otherwise, you will get bored, right? So like in the virtual memory goals, it's better you highlight this because these things are being tested for many times. So like allow applications larger than the physical memory to execute. That's the one best benefit that we can take through the virtual memory. නැත්නම් අපිට එහෙම concept එකක් නොතිබුණා නම් we have to increase the RAM according to our programs, right? Which will giving us a very big headache when we are using the computers, right? And run partially loaded programs. Entire program need not to be in the memory all the time. Yes, now it clears the third point, degree of multi-programming. So like it increased the degree of multi-programming actually. Because when you are running several different programs, there will be several different processors, and although all those processors together will definitely overflow the RAM. So virtual memory will help for that particular programs to keep what's needed inside the RAM and what is not needed for that moment inside the virtual memory. So several different programs are given the chance to run inside the RAM with the help of the virtual memory, right? And the application portability, right? The application should not have to manage memory resources. Yeah, program should not depend on the memory architecture. It is, again, when you're having a virtual memory, so the limit is the size of the hard disk. If the operating system allows if the operating system manages the hard disk to have the most of it, so we can extend the virtual memory as much as we want, right? So it will give the ability uh, for the users. They really don't need to manage the memory resources, right? And again, they don't need to depend on the memory hierarchy to do things, because virtual memory is taken care of those things, right? Permit sharing of memory segment or regions, right? For example, read-only code segment should be shared between program instance. Yeah, sharing is one another help or like the facility which is given by the virtual memory, right? Okay, so yeah, so the next topic is paging. So like this is the scenario that we talk through that diagram, right? So this describes that diagram, part of that diagram in simple terms, right? So this is the way of logical memory, right? So it is having pages. So this particular logical memory is regarding a process, right? So then this particular logical memory will be mapped into the physical memories space or like the places with the use of this page table, right? So inside the page table, the very first column is the page number, and the next column, which is in the blue color, are the frame number, right? So once you have taken an address from the page, using this page table and with the help of MMU, Memory Management Unit, the place which belongs by that particular process is created using this memory management technique, right? So the page table will be helping to do such thing. So it will ease up the things, how it is going to be stacked around the thing that you need to concentrate on this diagram. Then logical memory it is adjacent. See page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3 are there. And when it comes to the physical memory, those pages are here and there. It is because like this particular page table is going to map the things from the page number into the frame number. So each and every process will be having this logical memory. So since it is regarding one specific thing, the page table or like the logical memory is adjacent. But if you go through the page table carefully, you can see the allocation for the zeroth frame. It is zeroth page. It is the first frame, and the allocation for the first frame, it is the fourth frame. And allocation for the second page, it is the third frame. It is in the physical address, and for the third page, it is the seventh frame, which is in the physical address, right? So you have to remember how these things are happens. Otherwise, right? So logical memory is there, page table is there. So logical memory's page number will be mapped into a frame number, and that particular thing will get stored or like will get used, right? Okay, people, is it clear up to this point? Yes, if you got any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you have to give me the response. Okay, so no. Right. Okay. Thank you, Sanadi. Thank you, Masha. How about the others? Yes, people. All right. Okay. So I'm getting the responses. Right. Okay. All right. We'll hold this for the moment and let's shift into the Gates lesson. Right. So we are due to discuss the mapping, input outputs, and the spooling and how the operating system is going to work, right? So we will be doing that on next week. So let's shift to the what you call the calculation lesson, the logic gates, right? Right. So I think we have done the SOP into POS conversion, as I remember. Yeah, I think we are due with the K-maps today, right? So like converting the POS into the SOP and SOP into the POS is cleared, right? Right, let me check. Okay, so the simplification can be done in two methods. One way is to use the Boolean algebra for the simplification part. And I'm going to introduce you today something called K-map, Carnot maps, to do the simplification using those K-maps as well, right? So I'm taking, I'm taking the very same example, so it will be much easier for me to, what do you mean, to explain. Okay, so now remember, when you are going to solve a thing from a K-map, you should have the expression in its standard way, right? What do you mean by standard way? All the terms inside the expression should have the all three all the variables, we can say three, all variables which are which you are going to express, right? So now this particular thing is not a standardized one. A bar, B bar, C, and A bar, B. Here C is missing. So we won't be able to do that with a K-map. So if you need to do something with the K-map, you should have a standard SOP or a standard POS, right? So how we are going to make a standard SOP or standard POS? It's very easy. All you have to see is whether the terms are being connected through through pluses, and each and every term is having what the dots, the product, so which can be called SOP, sum of products, And if you have all the terms separated by the plus together, they are connected through the pluses, sorry, dots, we call it POS, the product of sums, right? So SOP and POS is there, right? So when it comes to the K-maps, we basically talked about the SOP, right? There is a way that you can acquire the POS as well. So I'll let you know. So for the moment, let's go with the expression that it is providing us, right? So, okay, just a second. All right, so when it comes to the K-maps, there are several different K-maps that we have to learn, right? So one is, so as I told you, K-maps are used to simplify the terms, right? So there are three types of K-maps. Actually, there can be many types of K-maps, but according to our syllabus, there are three types of K-maps, which we call the 2 by 2 K-map, and 2 by 3 K-map, and 4 by 4. I'm sorry, this is not 2 by 3, this is 2 by 4. 2 by 4 K-map, and this is 4 by 4 K-map. And how we are going to draw that? It's just a simple matrix which has 4 squares, 8 squares, and 16 squares. Right, so there are three types: 2 by 2, 2 by 4, and 4 by 4. And each and every side, like if you are having two number of squares for each side, it's going to indicate one single variable. So this particular place, we can take A and B, right? So this particular K-map is present in only two variables, right? A and B, right? And this particular one, it has four columns. That means this one is representing A and B, and this has two columns, so that means this represent C. And in here, it's AB for one side and CD for another side. Right, so that's how the variables are allocated for these K-maps. So we are using the other way around. We are given the expression, or like we are asked to derive the expression, then draw the K-map. So you should be very careful when you are drawing a K-map. Remember how many variables are inside your expression, right? So if your expression is something like this, yeah, if your expression is something like this, just send me the answer, whether it is a SOP or a POS. Make SOP ekatha POS ekatha. Yes. Is this a SOP or a POS? Yeah, Dilsar, that's correct. Sanadi, that's correct as well. SOP. Right? So, may SOP ඇතුලේ how many variables that you can find? How many different variables are there inside this SOP? Yes, there are two, right? Which means X and Y, right? So what we can do is we have to plot these terms like X dot Y bar and X bar dot Y inside this K-map. So this is how we are going to do that. Now, when this is A sites, if I take a 2 by 2 one, so this is going to be A bar and A. So you can change if you want. And when you have figured out a one single base, then you can say this is as B bar and B, right? So one particular side is having A and A bar, the other side is having B bar and B. And again, there is no rule to which part we are going to say B and to which part we are going to say B bar. It's at your will. You can change that, right? Then what we are going to do is we are going to plot the terms inside this, right? Just a second, people, I'm getting messages. All right, so now how we are going to plot this? So there are, you told me there are two variables. So if you refer to your book's equation, right? So your book says x bar dot y plus xy bar plus xy. So I'm going to take that as well. So for this, I need to plus x dot y. All right, so this is the expression that is given in your textbook. So like now again there are two variables only. So you are going to draw a K-map which is suitable for two variables, two rows, two columns. So I'm having X on this side and I'm having Y on this side. So the reason is when you're having two blocks, it's only X and Y. That means two variables inside it, right? So as I told you, this can be X bar and X, this can be Y bar and Y. If you need, you can change the order, that doesn't matter, right? There is no specific way of writing the things. So all you have to do is you have to understand how it happens, right? Now the thing is simple. So now we are going to consider each and every term, and we are going to plot a one එකක් අඳිනවා එක කියලා ඉලක්කම අඳිනවා to mark that particular things, right? Or like the terms. So the first one is x dot y bar. So x is here, y bar is here. So we can draw one over here, right? So likewise, x bar dot y. X bar is here, y is here. X bar dot y. Yeah, x bar and y. So we put a 1 there as well. Then the last one is x dot y. So x dot y means x is here, y is here. So So the cross. So is it clear so far? You have to take this very carefully, then you will see it's something very easy when it comes to the simplification. Yeah, how about how about so far, people? Is it clear? Yes, people. Right, okay. Right. Now then tamai බරපතල වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ. Now I'm going to rewrite this K map because I have put some arrows and all these things in here. So just a second. So I'm going to take the very same one. Right here, I'm going to plot the things, one in here, and one in here. So for the empty cells, I'm going to put 0. Right? Now you are having a rule. The rule is you have to make the group of ones. In a group only. Right? And a group එක ඇතුලේ එකේව විතරයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, වෙන මොකුත් තියෙන්න බෑ. Right? And when you are going to create a group, you can only create the groups of the number of groups should be on this manner. Either it should be a 1, or it should be a 2, or it should be a 4, or it should be a 8, or it should be a 16. Right? It will not go beyond the 16 because it is the biggest number in the syllabus that we are choosing. Right? So there are two facts there. You have to take the ones and you have to create groups. Those groups can consist only ones, and the number of ones should be something like it should be the maximum number of ones that you can put inside a group. Then ඔයගලගේ book එක දිහා බලුවොත්, right, if you look at your book, they have done some roundings. Go for the page number 19. Yeah, in this diagram. So now in this particular page, it shows you how the things can be like grouped, right? So the first one is grouping ones individually. So ඔතන තියෙන rule එක තමයි a group should acquire as much as it can, but only the ones, and you should create the groups at its minimum, right? At its minimum. So එන්න පුළුවන් අඩුම ප්‍රමාණයක් groups හැදෙන්නත් ඕනේ, හැබැයි එකේව ඔක්කොම cover වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. ඒක ඇතුලේ එකේව විතරයි තියන්න පුළුවන්, වෙනෙම තියන්න බෑ. Right? So there are ways of rounding this. You can round it individually, you can round 2 ones together, and one like without the grouping, and here it has done the same way. And in the fourth one, it indicates the everything, and it is the less number of what the groups inside that K. Right? So decama satisfied. It has many number of ones inside the group, and it has less number of K-maps. Less number of groups. Right? Then එතකොට ප්‍රශ්නයක් එනවා, can we use a one which is already being used? Yeah, still you can. Right? So the best grouping part is belongs to the very last one. So I'm going to use my whiteboard with the very same grouping part. So here it groups as 1, feed groups as 2. Right, so this is the best in a vertical manner or a horizontal manner, right? Okay, so once we group the things, we have to take the common term of each and every group. Have a group common ekena. So how we are going to do that? If you consider the what you call the vertical uh, diagram, like me උඩාතට manage කරලා තියෙන කෙනා ගත්තොත්, it has one column. This is one column and 2 rows. We have a different color. So this has one column and 2 rows, right? So I'm talking about this particular group. Yeah, people now tell me, if you now to find the common factor, you have to consider. Yeah, I'm getting a question. Let me see. Yeah, Masha, there is no proper order. You can use it in the way you want. In the 2 by 2 one, when it comes to the 2 by 4, I'll tell you there is a way of doing that. මෙතන නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. එක්කෙනෙක් x බාවුනොත් ඊළඟ එක්කෙනා x. Right? When it comes to the 2 by 2 K-maps, right? 2 by 4 එනකොටයි 4 by 4 එනකොටයි there is a way of writing it. When you are having 4 things together, there is a way of writing it. Right? So අපි මේ group එක ගත්තොත් මේ group එකට common එක column එකයි එක column එකකයි rows දෙකක්. So if you are considering about the common things from the columns point of view, x is a common factor for the entire group. හැම group එකකටම x කියන එක common වෙනවා නේද? මොකද මෙයා ඉන්නේ මේ තීන්දුවේ. Right? So what you are going to do is you are going to write x as the part of your answer, or the part of the simplification, x. And from the records, can you find anything similar or like anything common to both rows? Yes, people, answer me. Can you find anything identical when you are considering the rows of this group? Yes, people. මේ group එකේ පේලි ගත්තම පේලි වල common එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? මම අහන්නේ මේ group එකට අදාළව. මේ උඩට ඇඳලා තියෙන group එකට අදාළව. Yeah, and think about the letter. Think about its states as well. Again, y and y bar means 2 different things. So y means y is having one meaning, y bar is having another meaning. So the letter y is common, but there are 2 states in that 2 rows. එකක ඉන්නේ y bar කියලා අනිත් එකේ ඉන්නේ y කියලා. So we can't take y as a common factor. y අරගත්තොත් ඒක අපේ කරන වැඩේට වැරදි උත්තරයක් දුන්නාම green people, right? Okay, so that means you can have just one common thing. It's only the x, right? So no y's can be taken because in one record it's y bar, in the other record it is y. Okay, now if you consider about this particular particular group, so it has 2 columns and a 1 row. What are the common? So when it comes to the columns, can you find anything common? Columns දෙක ගත්තොත් common කෙනෙක් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, can you or cannot? Mihin uses y to x number 1. Didn't get you, Mihin. X plus y. I'm just asking for this particular group. Group consider and you find any common. Y behind that's correct. You can have y. A make column maker. May better be a column maker consider. May do you find anything common? A column say can a x by x. Can you find anything common? I'm just asking a simple question whether you can answer it by saying yes or no. Yeah, can't Kushani, that's correct. Yes, you can't. මොකද එක column එකක තියෙන x bar අනිත් එකේ තියෙන x. So nothing is common when you are considering the columns. So it's only y we can take. So for this particular expression, this is your plotting, and these are the common factors or like the common terms for your groups. So now you can write, if we say this is as f equals, you can write the simplified answer of f by saying like this: f equals x plus y. Simple as that. So what you are going to do is you are going to plot the expression into a relevant K-map. Then you group the things, right? Group the ones in a horizontal or vertical manner, not diagonally. Then you take the common factors, right? Then you write it as a SOP, x plus y. Yeah, Dilsara, it's the way of writing it, because by considering ones, we are going to write an SOP, sum of products. Now, since there is no product, since there is only one term, one letter, so we just write x plus y. Okay, people, did you get this? People, did you get this or not? Okay. How about the others? Okay, one more time. Nirmana, let's go with a new one. Here I'm going to draw another simple K-map, right? So I'm naming this as A and B. So this is going to be A and A bar. This is going to be B and B bar, right? So I'm going to put ones like this, right? So the way you can round it or group it like this, so I can create a one group in here and I can create another group in here. Okay, people, what's going to be the common term for this? So this particular group is having two columns and one row. Two columns and one row, right? Can you find anything common from the column names? Column names වලින් common කෙනෙක් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්ද? No, you don't, right? මොකද මෙතන ඉන්නේ A bar, මෙතන ඉන්නේ A. But from the row, it's the B you have, so it is common for both the ones because A row එකේ තමයි මෙයා ඉන්නේ. Right? So therefore we can say this as B. අපි මේ එක්කෙනා ගත්තම, so this is having A as its label and it has two rows and there is nothing, no common terms when you are considering the rows, right? මේ එක row එකක ඉන්නේ B and එකක ඉන්නේ B bar. මේ කියන group එක අරගත්තම, right? So you can write A for that particular group. මොකද A විතරයි ඒකේ common කෙනෙක් විදිහට මේ දෙන්නට මොකද පේලියට අදාළව, sorry තීරුවට අදාළව පේලි වලට අදාළව common කට්ටිය හොයාගන්න නැහැ. So ඒක නිසා you can have A. So your answer is going to be what? F equals A plus B. Right. Nirmana, did you get that? Right. Okay, people, I need the answer for this. Now I'm drawing the K-maps. You better tell me the answer. Right? Tell me the answer. Right? This is P, this is Q, this is P bar, this is P, and this is Q, and this is Q bar. Right? And these are the ones. Answer. What is going to be the expression? Well done. Yes, Dilsara Bashita, both are correct. Q plus P. So how we are going to round it? It's going to be this particular group and this particular group. So this is going to be P and this is going to be Q. So right. Okay, how about this? This is X and this is Y. Yeah, people, hold on. I've got a connection issue. So I'm sharing the screen again. Yeah. So tell me, if you can't find the common things, or like you can't diagonally around this thing, විකරණයක් විදියට round කරන්න බෑ. So we are not finding anything. So we have to round it separately. So separately round කරාම මොකක්ද ඔයාලට term එක වෙන්නේ. So you have to take the term separately. So what is the name of this group? Have a guess. Guess එකක් ගන්න බලන්න. එයාට ඉන්නේ එක තීරුවයි එක පේලියයි. X bar is the column, Y is the row. So since there is nothing in common, so you have to tell everything. So like you have to say, this is X bar dot Y. So likewise, what is this going to be? People, you can hear me, right? Yeah. Everyone? Yeah, that's right, dear sir. X, Y bar. That's going to be. Yes. So this is going to be X dot Y bar. And what's going to be the expression? What's going to be the expression? Yeah, X bar dot Y plus XY bar. Great, these are good. How about others? Aren't you getting this? People? Is there anyone who are not clear with what we are doing? Just let me know. Okay, so right. All right, so let's move it to the 2x4 section, right? So it's going to be something like this. Okay, so let's say this is XY and this is Z. So I have taken X and Y because this particular row is having 4 squares, right? So how we are going to name it? Now hear this out very carefully, right? Make a hari වැදගත්. You can start your combination in any combination you like, right? So I'm going to take the X, I'll write the simple X here, right? So you can put X dot Y. That's the starting combination. So when you're moving to the next cell, when you're moving to the next place, you can keep one unchanged. එකෙනෙක් වෙනස් කරගන්න නැතුව තියන්න and change the other one. අනිත් එක්කෙනාගේ state එක වෙනස් කරන්න. So I'm going to keep X as it is, dot, and I'm going to change Y into Y bar. right? ඒතර පළවෙනි එක්කෙනා අපි කැමති එකක් ලියා ගන්නවා. ඊළඟ එකට යනකොට කෙනෙක් වෙනස් කරන්නේ නැහැ, අනිත් එක්කෙනා වෙනස් කරනවා. And I'm moving to the third one. Previously changed component is not going to change. A previously changed component is y. It becomes y bar. So y bar is not going to change. So that will be there. The other one is going to change. Right? And thereafter, the rule happens in the very same way. So like from here to here, you are not going to change what has changed previously. Calling change kare x to x bar kara, so x bar is going to be there, and x bar is going to be there, and y bar is going to change into y. Terunada. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, Dilsara, that doesn't matter. You can start from a one, any combination, but you have to continue it with the theory. Right? So these two is not going to change. It's very simple. It's either z and z bar or z bar and z. Right? Okay. Let's see a different combination. All right, I will be having A, B, and C from A bar dot B, and how it's going to be the next one. What is the next combination? What can be the next combination? The theory is you are going to change one and you are going to keep in a one unchanged. You can change anyone you want and you can keep the other one without changing. Yes, great, Bashita. It should be A bar dot B bar right, and Kushani, it's the same thing that you have written there. It's A bar. Marsha, yes, A bar dot B bar can be taken. What is the other one? A bar dot B bar gatte නැති වුණොත් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. Yeah, Kushani, your one is correct. That should be the correct one. If we are not getting A bar dot B bar කියන එක අපි ලියමුකෝ මෙතනින්. A bar dot B bar live වෙන්නේ නැති වුණොත් ලියන්න පුළුවන් එක මොකක්ද? No, Marsha, it's not A B bar. If you are writing A B bar, you are changing the state of both the letters. A bar becomes A and B becomes B bar. It shouldn't be like that. Yes, Kushani, that's the correct one. You can write A B. That means A bar will become A and B is going to stay as it is. Now in here what we have done is A bar staying as it is, B is becoming B bar. Okay, what should be the next one? Yeah, Bashita, that's correct. Oh, what should be the next one? Any guesses? What should be the next one? Yeah, A dot B bar. That is correct. Because B has been changed here. So B bar is not going to change. A bar is going to change into A. Right, great. And how about the final one? Bashita, your answers were correct, right? How about the final one? Yeah, it should be AB. So because previously A is changed, so A is not going to change. B bar is going to change into B. So this particular part, either C or C bar, and you can change the status accordingly. තේරුණාද? මේකෙනුත් exam paper එකේ එක සැරයක් question එකක් අහලා තියෙනවා ඔය රටාව ගැන. They have given you some K-maths and they have asked you to choose the incorrect K-map, right? Okay. Now now let's see how we are going to write the common term. Okay, now I'm going to plot the ones here. Right. So how we are going to group these things? And again, don't keep the cells, other cells empty if the plotting of ones are over, so you can fill those things from zeros. Okay, now tell me a way to group these ones. Now remember, when you are grouping ones, you should take as much as you can into a group, but it should be either a horizontal or a vertical one, not a diagonal one. And the number of ones that you can have inside a group is going to be a 2 to the power. So that means either 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, likewise. So how we are going to circle it? How we are going to indicate the groups? Yes, people? And for your reference, I'm going to put the numbers for these squares, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we can refer from the numbers. What are the numbers are going to be together? Yeah, Bashita, there should be 2 groups, that's correct. So what should be the groups? Yes, that's right. Yes, Bashita, that's correct. How about the others? Are you getting this? Yeah, Dilsara, your choice is correct. 1, 2, 5, 6. Yes. And the other one? Is it just the 7th one? No, it's 6th and 7th. Right? So, yeah. So we are going to group this particular 4 together because I told you before, you can group things in 2 to the power manner. So number of ones should be a 2 to the power thing. And without without keeping this surrounding as a one single group, we are going to group it like this. And why we haven't went to the other one as well? Because it's not going to be a power of 2, right? Make a 2 to the power vertical or horizontal, right? So you have taken all 4 and this 6 and 7. Okay, now the challenge is what's going to be the common factors or the common variables. for this one and for this one. Yes, people, take the guesses. When you are taking these 4 ones, you are having 2 columns and 2 rows. What is the common letter for all 4 cells in that group? Yes, any guesses? Okay. තීරු වලින් කවුද පොදු කියලා කියන්නේ? මේ columns දෙක සැලකුවොත් කවුද common? ඔයගොල්ලෝ එහෙමයි හොයන්නේ. තීරු වලින් කවුද common කියලා බලනවා, page වලින් කවුද common කියලා බලනවා. Yes, people. Yes, that's correct, Dilsara. It's the X is the common factor. Yeah. Yes, and from the rows, පේලි වලින් common කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? එක පේලි එක තියෙන්නේ Z and පේලි තියෙන්නේ Z bar. Will there be a common variable from the rows? Yes or no? Yes, Bashita, there are 2 different variables, 2 different means, 2 different states, Z and Z bar. So you can't take a common one from the rows. So your common one is just X for this particular group. So X vitarai yaden. And what about the second group? So it has this particular row and this particular column and this particular column. Okay, these 2 as the columns and this as the row. So what is the common one from the columns? Columns only common kena kauda? Yes. Bashita, X bar the column, X bar the common. It's Y bar. Yes. Y bar is the common one. Yeah. And others will get disturbed. Right, Y bar is from the rows, columns, and from the rows. How about the rows? Columns are in common in Y bar. It has only 1 row. Yeah, so row you have to take Z bar, so no option. So your term is going to be, I'm sorry, not X, it's going to be Y bar dot Z bar. Right, so Y bar is from the rows, Z bar is from the Y bar is from the columns, Z bar is from the rows. So your final answer is going to be F equals X plus Y bar dot Z bar. That's going to be the final answer. All right, did you get this? People, just give me a confirmation. Right. Great. How about the others? Bashita, x එක ප්‍රශ්නයයි because this is a separate term. This is a separate term. අපි ලියන්නේ SOP එක. So x is taken separately and y bar dot z bar taken separately. Then plus is using. එකේ වට දාලා අපි ලියන්නේ pluses දාලා SOP එක විදිහට. තේරුණාද? භාෂිත, did you get that? Right. Okay. So people, I'm going to end the session from this point. So ඊළඟ week එකෙත් මේ time එකමයි 4 to 6. I'm going to send you the link, right? So you can come through that. So 4 o'clock mend. So from 4 to 6 we are going to discuss the rest of the lessons, right? So අපිට operating systems ඉවර කරගන්න පුළුවන් way by next week, right? Without the calculation part, I guess calculation part එක ටික වෙලාවක් කියයි. And we are coming to the end of the 4th lesson as well. 4th lesson එකත් ඉවර වෙගෙන දැන්, right? So don't miss the class. Since the pandemic happens again, so you have to stay like this, right? ඒක නිසා ඔහොම ඉඳගෙන වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යන්න. Don't miss the classes, right? So keep it up, classes, right? All right. So thank you very much, everyone. So I'm going to see you next week for the same time, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, right? Okay. මම video එකේ link එකක් දානවා WhatsApp එකට. ඒක ගිහලා ඕනනම් අවශ්‍ය කෙනෙකුට ආයෙසරයක් බලන්න පුළුවන්, right? All right. Thank you very much, people. Thank you very much for the session. Have a nice evening, right? And so you got holidays. Enjoy it with the quarantine period, right? Having the quarantine terms, with the quarantine terms, huh? Right, okay. So goodbye for everyone, right? I'm going to end the session from here. Right. Good night, everyone. Good night.